Hey everybody, this is Joe Joseph, and this is the DailySheeple.com's News Shot. Well, The Guardian is going after something that has been, I guess, considered tried and true in the medical profession for a very, very long time. As long as I remember, it's always been the rule that patients must finish antibiotics or you're absolutely in the wrong. Well, this new study suggests that patients should stop taking the drugs when they feel better rather than actually completing their prescription, believe it or not. It says telling patients to stop taking antibiotics when they feel better may be preferable to instructing them to finish the course, according to a group of experts who argue that the rule, long embedded in the minds of doctors and the public, is wrong and should be overturned. Patients have traditionally been told that they must complete courses of antibiotics, the theory being that taking too few tablets will allow the bacteria causing their disease to mutate and become resistant to the drug. But Martin Llewellyn, a professor in infectious disease at Brighton and Sussex Medical School, and colleagues claim that this is just simply not the case. In an analysis in the British Medical Journal, the experts say, quote, the idea that stopping antibiotic treatment early encourages antibiotic resistance is not supported by evidence, while taking antibiotics for longer than necessary will actually increase the risk of resistance. How do you like that? It says there are some diseases where the bug can actually become resistant if the drugs are not taken for long enough. The most obvious, of course, is tuberculosis, they say. But most bacteria that cause people to become ill are actually found on every day in everybody's hands in the community, causing absolutely no harm, such as E. coli and Staphylococcus. And people fall ill only when the bug gets into the bloodstream or the gut. The longer such bacteria are exposed to antibiotics, the more likely it is that the resistance will develop. So the longer that you take it in that instance, the more likely it will be that it becomes more resistant, almost like developing a tolerance. Now, the experts say there's too little research into the ideal length of a course of antibiotics, but, and by the way, it varies from, that's the problem with humans, right? Because physiology is different for everybody. So you can't cookie cutter treatment and say, well, this level of this is going to be good for anything, for strep throat or whatever. I can't use strep throat. That's a virus. Damn it. So you can't just streamline it and say that's the way it is for everybody. So it's hard to nail down an ideal length because a length for me may not be like a length for you. In hospital, it says patients can be tested to work out when to actually stop the drugs. Listen to this, quote, outside hospital where repeated testing may not be feasible, patients might be best advised to stop treatment when they feel better. I mean, this is in direct contravention of what the World Health Organization advises. Other experts in infectious disease back the group. As a matter of fact, Peter Openshaw, president of the British Society for Immunology, said this, quote, I've always thought it to be illogical to say that stopping antibiotic treatment early promotes the emergence of drug-resistant organisms. He says this brief but authoritative review supports the idea that antibiotics may be used more sparingly, pointing out that the evidence for a long duration of therapy is at best tenuous. Far from being irresponsible, shortening the duration of a course of antibiotics might make antibiotic resistance less likely. Think about this for a second, folks. We talk about, and you see within the mainstream media and your wellness publications, this whole thing about antibiotic resistance just being a huge problem throughout the world. And there's always this risk of a superbug that's going to come out and kill millions of people. And isn't it interesting that it could be the very policy that's been the rule of thumb for years and years and years, could actually be what's causing the resistance itself. That the very thing that they say they want you to do to prevent the resistance from occurring is actually what causes it. I mean, that just takes the cake, if you ask me. So, when you take antibiotics, take them till you feel better, and then put the rest away for a rainy day. I'm Joe Joseph. This was thedailysheeple.com's News Shot. Feel free to comment below and visit our website at thedailysheeple.com. Have a great day.